Y'all gotta stop blaming the president for what other people do. He's not telling people to go shoot people. People are doing that on their own. Just because you might feel some type of way about the shit I say doesn't mean I told you to go do something. You made those people made those actions on their own.
Niggas tryna shine, but they diamonds fake. Fuck off my.
What's poppin', YouTube? Welcome back to the Duck Vision channel. Today, I don't really want to do it, but I gotta be fair. Gotta be fair. When he says, shit, I just totally disagree with. I have to react to it. I can't just not be fair. I can't just not be fair, you know. But we're gonna get right into this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. But let's get right to this video.
This weekend, more than 80 people were killed or wounded in two evil attacks. One Saturday morning in El Paso, Texas, a wicked man went to a Walmart store where a family...
So I don't want to hear nobody saying he didn't condemn the racists. Because he clearly did condemn the racists. And let's talk about something right now. So the one in El Paso, he was a right-wing extremist. And the one in Ohio was a left-wing extremist. It's getting crazy out here, man. I ain't gonna lie, I've been saying this for a while. Civil War's coming. War's coming. I don't know what side y'all gonna pick, but it's getting pretty radical and crazy out here. Everybody stay safe.
Were shopping with their loved ones. He shot and murdered 20 people and injured 26 others, including precious little children.
All right.
Then, in the early...
No need to say precious children. No need to prop them up. No need to do what the left does. The left did that. When people got shot at Gilroy, they were propping up a 6-year-old. Don't do that, bro. Please don't do that.
Hours of Sunday morning, Dayton, Ohio. Another twisted monster opened fire on a crowded downtown street. He murdered 9 people, including his own sister, and injured 27 others.
His own sister, though.
The First Lady and I joined all Americans in praying and grieving for the victims, their families, and the survivors. We will stand by their side forever. We will never forget. These barbaric slaughters are an...
I'm not trying to laugh. It's just the way he says shit. We will stand by their side forever. Oh, nigga funny. Look how he say that shit.
Grieving for the victims, their families, and the survivors. We will stand by their side forever. We will never forget.
Forever.
These barbaric slaughters...
He definitely reading the teleprompter. I ain't gonna lie. he be off the hip a lot, but he reading the teleprompter. Those lines forever.
Are an assault upon our communities, an attack upon our nation, and a crime against all of humanity. We are outraged and sickened by this monstrous evil, the cruelty, the hatred, the malice, the bloodshed, and the terror. Our hearts are shattered for every family whose parents, children, husbands, and wives were ripped from their arms and their lives. America weeps for the fallen. We are a loving nation, and our children are entitled to grow up in a just, peaceful, and loving society.
I agree.
Together, we lock arms to shoulder the grief. We ask God in heaven to ease the anguish.
Alright, let's talk about something. It's gonna sound a little bit insensitive, but gun control is only about white people killing white people. So, why do people, and it's gonna sound really sensitive, I'm warning you right now. You get offended real quick, just leave. Just dip that way, or that way. But gun control is only a big issue when white people kill white people. When black people kill black people, nobody ever says, "Oh, we need to do something about this. This is a travesty. 87 people got shot in Chicago this week." Nobody cares. You know? So it's real disconcerting when people are fighting over a lot of white people dying. I'm saying it's wrong. It's wrong. But it's like, if you're gonna call for gun control, you gotta call gun control when everybody gets shot. Not just when the white people get shot, when everybody. That's my 2 cents on that. But I don't agree. This is a bad situation. But that's my 2 cents on gun control.
Of those who suffer, and we vow to act with urgent resolve. I want to thank the many law enforcement personnel who responded to these atrocities with the extraordinary grace and courage of American heroes.
He definitely reads
I have
something.
spoken with Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Ohio Governor Mike DeWine,
He looking straight.
as well as
he
Mayor
reads something for sure.
DeMargo of El Paso, Texas, and Mayor Nan Whaley of Dayton, Ohio, to express our profound sadness and unfailing support. Today, we also send the condolences of our nation to President Obrador of Mexico and all the people of Mexico for the loss of their citizens in the El Paso shooting. Terrible, terrible thing. I have also been in close contact with Attorney General Barr and FBI Director Wray. Federal authorities are on the ground, and I have directed them to provide any and all assistance required, whatever is needed.
Okay.
The shooter in El Paso posted a manifesto online consumed by racist hate.
Okay.
In one,
Y'all gotta stop blaming the president for what other people do. He's not telling people to go shoot people. People are doing that on their own. Just because you might feel some type of way about the shit I say doesn't mean I told you to go do something. You made those people made those actions on their own. You can't blame him for this. Leftist. You gotta stop doing that. You can't blame him for the actions of other individuals that act. What's that word? You know what I mean? That act by themselves and do these evil things. He didn't call for that. He didn't say go shoot people. He didn't say go do all this stuff that y'all saying he said. He didn't say that. So stop blaming him for that. He had nothing to do with that.
our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. These sinister ideologies must be defeated.
So my cousin asked me one day, "You think would Donald Trump ever condemn racism, and white supremacy?" Well, he did it. Hey, he did it. So, there you go.
Hate has no place in America. Hatred warps the mind, ravages the heart, and devours the soul. We have asked the FBI to identify all further resources they need to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism.
All right. You cannot stop hate crimes. You can't even stop people from being racist. Well, I mean, you kind of can't. You really can't, though. Because people are too divided. The way you end racism is getting people to understand that you're a human and I'm a human. You gotta relate to people. If you can't relate to people, if you just call people shitty and blame them for all the world's problems, what do you expect? I'm just saying. What else did he say? I had another point. I forgot what he said. That gave me my point.
Has no place in America. Hatred warps the mind, ravages the heart, and devours the soul. We have asked the FBI to identify all further resources they need to investigate and disrupt hate crime.
Oh, yeah. You can't stop hate crimes because you have to know what a person's thinking to stop a hate crime. I mean, you could probably go on their social media, but what if they don't have a social media? Or what if they're kicked off of Twitter, kicked off of Facebook, kicked off of Instagram, kicked off their YouTube channel? See, this is why banning people is such a bad thing. Because you want to know who people are. You want to know that people think this way. You want to be able to challenge their ideas and maybe be able to change their mind. But when you ban them, it's like, where do they go? It's like they sit at home alone in their room and just thoughts just go crazy because they have nobody to talk them off that ledge of where they're at, you know? It's like banning people doesn't solve anything because the person still thinks the way he does or she thinks the way she does. So you gotta kind of be able to, what you gotta kind of do is let the stuff be out there. So if somebody says something hateful, somebody can combat that and be like, nah, bro, that's wrong. That's wrong. And don't insult them when you do it. You gotta talk to them like they're a human. Don't say, hey, stupid. Chill. Don't do that. When I debate people online, I try my hardest to stay away from insults. Because as soon as you insult somebody, they'll put up a wall. It's like, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you no more. Why would I listen to you? You just called me an idiot. You know? We gotta talk to people. Talking to people, I really do think talking to people is the right answer. I really do.
And domestic terrorism, whatever they need. We must recognize that the internet has provided a dangerous avenue to radicalize, disturb minds, and perform demented acts. We must shine light on the dark recesses of the internet and stop mass murders before they start. The internet, likewise, is used for human trafficking, illegal drug distribution, and so many other heinous crimes. The perils of the internet and social media cannot be ignored, and they will not be ignored. In the 2 decades since Columbine, our nation has watched with rising horror and dread as one mass shooting has followed another, over and over again, decade after decade.
I really do think this is an unsolvable problem. Just being honest, I don't know how you solve this problem. Because, okay, let's talk about gun control. So if you do gun control, it's 3 problems with that. 1, you can't stop people from selling illegal guns. The guy in El Paso had an AK. Citizens aren't even allowed to have automatic weapons. So boom, he didn't get that legally. 2, why should it be okay for the police to only have, why should the police have better guns than the citizens? Or the government? The government should not be able to have better guns than the citizens. Because that's why we have the Second Amendment. To protect ourselves from the government and stuff like that. Third thing. So, with gun control, the more gun control you have, the more restrictions you put on law-abiding citizens to protect themselves. So you're telling me you want the law-abiding citizens not to have the guns that the criminals have? That makes no sense. The dude had an AK. He had an AK. So you telling me you want law-abiding citizens to have guns that aren't as good as the criminals? That makes no sense. I'm just being honest. You're putting people in danger. Because they're not going to be able to protect themselves the way they should be. Because you cannot stop guns on the black market. I'm just being honest. It's never going to work.
Not allow ourselves to feel powerless. We can and will stop this evil contagion. And that
Oh, then another thing, how they say, well, we need mental checks. Who decides what a mental disability is? Who decides that? We're not going to get into that right now, but I think some people have mental illnesses, and you got these political figures and what so not say that, oh, those people are perfectly fine. Yeah, nothing's wrong with them. Really? So who gets to decide who has a mental illness and can't buy a gun? The government? Nah. I don't think so.
We must honor the sacred memory of those we have lost by acting as one people. Open wounds cannot heal if we are divided. We must seek real bipartisan solutions.
If you're doing
we have to do that in a bipartisan manner that will truly make America safer and better for all. First, we must do a better job of identifying and acting on early warning signs. I am directing the Department of Justice to work in partnership
I agree.
with local, state, and
If you see
federal
somebody-
agencies, as well as social media companies to develop.
If you see somebody, if you see the signs online, it's a video where you can go see what the signs online look like of somebody that's about to snap. You know? Try to talk to people. Some people just need somebody, a friend. A lot of these people just need a friend. A lot of these dudes just need some pussy. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of these mass shooters, we can end the mass shooting if women just fuck them. But the problem is, you can't make women fuck them. I seen a few of those dudes. Who's gonna fuck them? I bet they got some pussy. They wouldn't be shooting everybody up. I'm just saying.
Tools that can detect mass shooters before they strike. As an example, the monster in the Parkland High School in Florida had many red flags against.
Alright, what if they don't have social media? Then what? What are you gonna do then? Huh? Not making any sense right now, bro. You making some valid points, but what about the ones that don't have a social media? Some people have social medias where they just watch stuff and don't post nothing. What if it's one of those social medias? What are you gonna do then? How can you see
Yet
signs of
nobody
that
took
person?
decisive action. Nobody did anything. Why not? Second, we must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace.
Oh my
It is too easy
gosh.
today.
Come on, bro. You doing what they do. They're blaming you for this. And you blaming it on video games? Come on, bro. No, 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 no. No. But I grew up in a rough environment. It's a lot of people that grow up in those places that don't kill people, that don't want to even participate in that type of lifestyle, but they play violent video games. No. No, 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 no. Just because somebody plays video games doesn't mean they're going to be a mass shooter, or it doesn't mean it radicalizes them to mass shootings. It's not what that means. It's not. You can use that scenario with anything. All the mass shooters eat Frosted Flakes, so we have to ban Frosted Flakes because Frosted Flakes makes people do mass shootings. Come on, bro. No.
For troubled youth to surround themselves with a culture that celebrates violence. We must stop or substantially reduce this, and it has to begin immediately. Cultural change is hard, but each of us can choose to build a culture that celebrates the inherent worth and dignity of every human life. That's what we have to do.
It's a video game. There aren't real humans.
We must reform our mental health laws to better identify mentally disturbed individuals.
I agree.
Who may commit acts of violence, and
But
make sure
down.
those people.
But they gotta open up all the mental institutes. A lot of people that's homeless, they got mental problems. They gotta open them back up, and then do them the right way. Not do all that electro shock stuff and scramble people. Y'all gotta do it right. Do it right. Just do it right. That's all I'm saying.
Only get treatment, but when necessary, involuntary confinement. Mental illness and hatred pulls the trigger, not the gun. Fourth, we must make sure that those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms, and that if they do, those firearms can be taken through rapid due process. That is why I have called for red flag laws, also known as extreme risk protection orders. Today, I'm also directing the Department of Justice to propose legislation ensuring that those who commit hate crimes and mass murders face the death penalty, and that this capital punishment be delivered quickly, decisively, and
So, wait. You want to kill people that commit hate crimes. You know, just punching somebody that's gay, black, minority, whatever you want to call it, is a hate crime, right? You do know that, right? No, I'm in disagreements, because somebody could just say that somebody did a hate crime, which wasn't a hate crime. You were just being a shitty person, and they were reacting. No, take hate crimes out of there. Maybe the mass shooter part. I'm accepting of that, but not the hate crime part. No. But all these people out here mislabeling people? No, I'm not for that part.
Out years of needless delay. These are just a few of the areas of cooperation that we can pursue. I am open and ready to listen and discuss all ideas that will actually work and make a very big difference.
Nobody's going to discuss these ideas.
Republicans and Democrats have proven that we can join together in a bipartisan fashion to address this plague. Last year, we enacted
The problem is the media, the leftist media, and the Democrats don't give a fuck. They don't care what you got to say, bro. They just want to win, which is the sad part.
School violence and fix Nick's acts into law, providing grants to improve school safety and strengthening critical background checks for firearm purchases. At my direction, the Department of Justice banned bump stocks. Last year, we prosecuted a record number of firearms offenses. But there is so much more that we have to do. Now is the time to set destructive partisanship aside, so destructive, and find the courage to answer hatred with unity, devotion, and love. Our future is in our control. America will rise to the challenge. We will always have, and we always will, win. The choice is ours, and ours alone. It is not up to mentally ill monster. We will always have, and we always will, win. The choice is ours, and ours alone. Okay. It is not up to mentally ill monsters. It is up to us. If we are able to pass great legislation after all of these years, we will ensure that those who were attacked will not have died in vain. May God bless the memory of those who perished in Toledo. May God protect
God bless America.
May God protect all of those from Texas to Ohio. May God bless the victims and their families. May God bless America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think he said Toledo. Best Dayton, not Toledo, bro. This nigga's crazy. But alright, y'all. That's the end of the video. You know, I ain't gonna lie. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. Or as bad as people make it. But the internet just does that. That's the internet. Any little thing they gotta make it the worst crisis in the world. They make everything seem like the world's coming to an end. But don't forget that like button, comment, and subscribe. We almost at 200 subscribers, y'all. Hey, peace.